Hey there guys, welcome to Model Behaviour. I am still knee-deep in my final assignment for my university studies, so I'm taking a little bit of a break from the long-form videos, but I don't want to stop putting out content because I enjoy the feedback as much as, hopefully, as much as people enjoy watching it, or people enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy the feedback. You know what I'm saying. So we're going to do another 10 toys, 10 minutes, and 10 things to love. In the meantime though, if you do want some extra model behavior, then you can go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior. At the moment, I just released a review of the Mortal Kombat movie, and a retro figure review of the reanimated Spawn, which is like a 20-year-old figure that I finally got my hands on. And also, if it passes the copyright check, you can watch me literally cry over the new Marvel preview trailer thing. I know, I'm a big softie. So there's that on patreon.com/displaying model behavior. But all that notwithstanding, here are 10 toys, 10 minutes, and 10 things to love. First up, we have I love the Predator theme tune, and NECA have nailed this classic Predator, the Jungle Hunter. There are so many lovely little bits of detail going on this fella. First of all, the mask itself is just perfectly captured, and in all the subsequent films, I never feel they actually nailed a better looking mask than this original one from the first movie. They always try to go too elaborate, too over the top, but no, this sleek basic design is so cool. Then they actually have the nice rubbery dreads that fall kind of naturally. The wrist blades themselves actually retract and go in and out. There is so much stuff here. Plus, you even have an unmasked head as well. He's got the plasma caster up at the top that's articulated. NECA really, really nailed this guy. I think they just pushed the boat out, and when they do, man, they just absolutely killed it. Damn! I can't do that Raphael voice. Damn! No, I can't do it. Either way, I'm such a perfectionist. Raphael from the TMNT movie, 1990. Now, gosh, I'm going 2 NECA in a row, but why the heck not when they look this pretty? I honestly think the movie turtles are the best rendition NECA have ever done of a movie character, because they are actual, human costumes. They can be recreated in plastic form and look identical to what they were on the screen. It's so beautiful. They even have the little scar on Raphael's cheek as well, which, as a bit of turtle lore canon, that was actually a scar given to him by Leonardo when they were having kind of a friendly battle over who should lead the turtles, and that's why Raphael bears a little bit of a grudge, and he's a little bit salty. But they just capture the look of this face so well, and that's what was so great about the Stan Winston designs, was that each turtle had a unique kind of shape to the face that gave them their own personality and character. Get me pictures of SpiderMan! That was a bit more of a Stan Lee voice than a J. Jonah Jameson, but still, this retro JJ figure, I love it when Marvel Legends kind of go outside the comic book hero box and give us some of the supporting cast, and JJ is so essential as far as Spider-Man supporting cast go, and they absolutely nailed this wonderful retro kind of design. The head is still just the original chameleon spare head, but they've given him a nicer paint job with a bit more detail in there. But then the beautiful design on the tie, just this classic 1960s style waistcoat. This is straight out of the Daily Bugle. Speaking of which, he has one rolled up bugle in his hand. Also, he has the actual open newspaper as well, which is so great because it has stories and photos using Marvel Legends. I think there's a Marvel Legends Mysterio in there as well. So fantastically done with his pointing finger of that web menace. It's wonderful. Talk about a flashback. Here we have a 1990s McFarlane toy, the Heap from Spawn. I have always wanted this figure, and now I finally have him, and he looks so great, so gnarly. There is just a whole bunch going on here. Now, this is a 20-year-old figure, which is nuts. The main amazing thing being that so much of this stuff on him can be pulled off and fall off, and yet the person I bought it from has actually managed to keep hold of pretty pretty much everything. You can see from like a little gap here, there are a couple of little missing pieces, but considering this has been around for nearly a quarter of a century and still has almost everything still intact, that is an absolutely amazing feat and such a crazy fun figure. One of my favorite new additions to my collection, a Triceraton infantry trooper. Just look at how colorful this dude is. It is crazy. He just pops off the shelf. Whoa, almost took out Boba Fett there. Because he has so much going on here. I mean, the beautifully animated looking face, the snarl and the sneer, but then the big purple eyebrows, the obviously bright orange skin. There's so much going on with this character, with his huge big guns as well. I love kind of like the bolts in the blaster here and the great big rocket launcher. He's got his tail with the spikes on as well. I didn't even see, or I don't even remember watching the episode with the Triceratons as a kid, but even then I had to get this guy and his two other Triceraton buddies because they just look amazing. Everything I want in figures. Big, colorful, chunky, and awesome. Now I'm sure you might be wondering, who on earth is this guy? Well, I'll tell you, it's DK. I know, right? Who? DK. I have a custom figure here because this is my top 10 and I've decided I'm going to include customs. So this character appeared only once in the Ben Reilly era of Spider-Man. So Ben Reilly had taken over the mantle of Spider-Man, or reclaimed it as we thought at the time, and he faced DK, who was basically kind of like Clayface really, but born out of a company dumping radioactive material. So he's kind of like an anti-pollution kind of character, so sort of an anti-hero really. Only appeared once, but left a bit of an impression on yours truly. So I got an extremely talented buddy of mine to rejig a Molten Man bath, because let's face it, what else is that figure good for, am I right? And he did such an incredible job, not just repainting it, but sculpting it, taking new parts from, I think, Hydro Man here, just to make an awesome looking character. Well, hi there, sugar. I just realized I have 3 different Rogue figures now, which is 2 more than I ever thought I needed, but there you go. Why do I like this figure? Because the face is so unusual. To have this kind of sneer look, it's like, it's not overly attractive, but it doesn't have to be. It's got character to it. Like, you can tell she's looking at an opponent or something and being like, what in the world? I'm gonna have to roll up my sleeves and suck it to him. I can't. This is why I'm not a writer. Comics would be terrible. But this face sculpt is terrific. I'm gonna put her with my House of X wave when they arrive, which is imminent, I think, which is quite exciting. Even though this isn't technically her House of X costume, I think she wore this when she was in the Uncanny Avengers, but I don't really have that as a display, so I can totally fudge her in with the Hoxpox and she'll look awesome. Get over here! Yeah, good luck catching anything with that with that hook there, Scorpion. I feel the poor guy might be suffering from what we call in the UK brewer's droop. Unfortunately, I think this is what happens when you leave the figure in the sun for too long. He kind of goes a little bit limp. But we can look past that to enjoy what is a fantastic rendition of the demon from the Nether Realm. Looks so cool with the beautiful golden mask here, which is a nice kind of juxtaposition to the more flat yellow. The flat yellow, which actually has nice texture to it as well. It's actually looks like, you know, material that's being used. There's so much detail in this character. Would I prefer the Storm Collectibles one? Yes, of course I would. But that notwithstanding, this is a fantastic rendition of Scorpion, even though his chain is a little bit droopy. I won't hold that against him. He looks awesome. Going back to my Gachapon adventures, we have the most random, chibi little Scarlet Spider. Okay, calling this an action figure is even more of a stretch than RoboCop 2 from the previous video, but I just wanted to show him off because he's so cute and adorable and kind of ridiculous, and wow, a lot of dust going on there too. But yeah, this little Scarlet Spider, I wanted at one point to just collect all the different Scarlet Spiders, and then I realized that for a relatively obscure character, he's actually got a lot of renditions. But this one is surprisingly nice, with the spider actually engraved here on the sweatshirt, and his little, look at his fat little baby arms with his little web shooters on there. He's got his boot anklets as well, which technically should be brown, but hey, I'm not gonna hold it against him. For 500 yen from a gachapon machine, that's super cute, so Japanesey, and such a wonderful little addition to the Ben Reilly collection. You will bow before the power of doom, and my cape which keeps me upright. Thank goodness for plastic capes, am I right, folks? I know that's a contentious issue, but on this Doctor Doom, he looks so cool with it. Plus, just from the lighting we have at the moment, how badass does his face look in the shadow of that cape? That is just so cool. I mean, Hasbro really knocked it out of the park with this figure. Widely considered one of, if not the best figures of last year. I threw the little storm lightning effect on his hand as well to give him even more going on there. He's got the removable pistol, which I never actually removed because I think he looks great, you know, just having it there, with the wonderful sculpted D engraved there too. So much going on with this guy, with the gold and the armor and the straps on the boots. Oh my god, love this figure. And guys, that was 10 more figures in 10 more minutes, and I think way more than just 10 things to love. So thanks very much for joining me again. As I said, I will absolutely get back to a regular schedule with more detailed and more kind of in-depth videos very, very soon. But in the meantime, thank you so much for sticking with the channel. It's always a pleasure to put these things together and just share the love of action figures with you. So until next time, keep displaying moral behavior.
Chill.